how can we create sufficient density and still preserve architectural heritage, especially in downtown areas?
To be honest, I'm not an expert on preserving architectural heritage, but in my opinion, I work on a few project downtown, also for high-rise context. I believe if we can allow sufficient space among these elements, like you have preserved building architectural heritage needs to be preserved, and you have buffer zone between very dense high-rise building, and with this buffer zone on grade, it will create urban space, so people are easily recognize the existence of the architectural heritage, being old building or special building, together with the existence of the super high-rise building. I think they can represent the history, they can represent the culture. I think it's good enough. I do not suggest we try to merge these two into one, because they are of different, like old people and young people. So it's good to look at them both in an urban context.
Do you think developers have an obligation to provide affordable housing in the residential market or social housing in high-rises? How should this be handled?
Okay, I've seen example of high-rise, but not the super high-rise building to solve housing problem in Australia, in Hong Kong, or in some other Asian country. I think it's a good solution to put people together and put facility among them. It will create a community, and it's good for government to provide support to the community. And developer, I think it's up to them to see the social need and what is their role and the involvement that can do that. I think they can sort of do a cost plus or something like that. And the cost of the construction and development, I think it can be revealed to the public or revealed to the government. I think it's a good chance for developer, if they wish to involve in that kind of activity. I'm very positive to look at this.
What kind of changes do you think need to happen in the relationships between government and developers and designers to really move forward sustainability?
Yeah, actually, in my experience, for various different projects, the government have different way, different officer maybe have different way to handle cases. So in terms of the policy and the regulation on this level, I think there should be some flexibility to drive the approval process, whereas we can see in the flexibility we can adopt a different engineering approach or design approach that will be creating sustainability to certain type of development, although they are new or they are not that common to the general public or the government approval process. So I think the feasibility will be based on other example and the direction how the government look at sustainability as a whole.
So let's talk about the Ping International Finance Center specifically. Any updates you can provide? And if you want to pick something that you've learned maybe from working on it, how you were surprised or what the project has taught you.
The update will be, up to now we are very close to 500 meters in height, so our core is going to be topped up by the end of the year. The whole structure will be topped up by the first quarter. So
of 2015?
Yeah, 2015. And the commission, we are looking at 2016. So we're still having a very, very challenging target for this exercise. Yeah, it's a very interesting project. I didn't start the project at the beginning, but I joined the team. I worked very hard on putting forward and speeding up the project in terms of construction and detailed design. I would say I learned how to put a complicated issue together to make a simple solution. Because in high-rise building and in the context of such a building in Shenzhen and dealing with the government, and also there are quite a lot of issues that needs to be handled one by one. But if each solution is too complicated, I think there will be a lot of effort and a lot of resources to be spent, and whereas time and cost will be large. So it's good to resolve problem in a simple way, direct way. So that is my learning for such a big project of that height.
What do you think will be that building's, the Ping An Financial Center's contribution to the urban experience of Shenzhen?
I believe people are looking at a landmark for Shenzhen, and the government is very appreciative of the progress now. And I believe there will be a very special, iconic, element in Shenzhen. Will be a very fresh-looking place, because we also upgrade the shopping environment around, and I hope the traffic situation will change, because we tend to put car under the basement rather than putting on the street. So I would expect some changes involved in when Ping An is going to be finished less than 2 years later.
Wrapping up, I think looking forward, what trends interest you most about development, especially of tall buildings in Chinese cities?
Okay, I've done tall building in Hong Kong, which are highly technical, and although the approval or the government have to facilitate the case, I would say there are two trends that we can look at. One is you can see in Shanghai, Beijing, and even Shenzhen, a developer or building owner is looking at quality, very important. Previously, they found the investment return and the time are very important issue to development. But now, I'm not saying that they don't look at these issues, but they will put quality of the building. For example, design, the overall impact, and the overall impact to the environment context. So they spend resources in employing like international standard consultant and project team like ours. Also recruit from the market who has experience on managing that kind of project. So there will be a change of building owner want professional to handle project of that size, of that height. And the other is more involvement from the international arena. You can see designer, architect, engineer, they all come to China to experience the boom. I wouldn't say just on tall building, but as well as building as a whole, particularly on the commercial property that is now in a hot topic.